going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and hopefully you all are doing well, because yesterday was a real tough day in the United States. I didn't even post because it was just too sickening, embarrassing, disappointing, and quite frankly unacceptable to see what was going on over in DC. We're supposed to be an example for other countries, and none of that needed to happen yesterday, but what I can tell you is that I could definitely see brighter days ahead of us in 2021. Hopefully you guys feel the same way, but in tonight's video, we're going to be talking about Black Ops Cold War Zombies, the status of those goddamn Victis remakes, it's good news, and some other content as well. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because about 80% of you that watch my videos aren't subscribed. So make sure you guys get notifications every time I update you on Black Ops Cold War. Also be sure to use code DYNAMITE if you want to save 10% on any Control Freak orders. Their link is of course down below in the description. Now be sure to drop a comment. What do you guys want to see Treyarch do on 115 Day, National Zombies Day? Should they surprise us, tease DLC 1, a teaser trailer maybe, or should they drop Tombstone the perk early in D Machina? Leave all your thoughts down below. But earlier today, Treyarch dropped a brand new update into Black Ops Cold War. They actually moved playlist updates to Thursdays instead of the usual Tuesdays. And with this update, we got Raid plus Crossroads Strike 24/7 playlist, Gunfight Blueprints, which allow you to use blueprints you don't own in the gunfight mode. We have Dirty Bomb duels and Fire Team, daily and season challenges updates, zombie improvements, a harp fix, and a mid-season update preview. So as they confirmed, the mid-season update of Black Ops Cold War will be dropping on January the 14th. So a day before 115 Day. I wonder if that means anything. Will they add something extra for zombies the next day? Let's see. But the update will include the new Fire Team map Sanatorium, the new multiplayer game mode Dropkick, and crank mode for zombies. No mention of Tombstone, so I wonder if that teaser from a couple of weeks ago is actually intended for DLC 1, when we'll probably see a Tombstone perk machine on Firebase Z, or will they actually add Tombstone early to the Machina through the Wonder Fizz? Lots of questions with that, but hopefully something comes through on 115 Day, right? You know, maybe a teaser trailer or an image on their Twitter, maybe even a Q&A with the Zombies team about what's going on with the future, right? We'll love something like that, because I know with Black Ops 4, 115 Day brought us a Q&A with Blundell and Craig Houston, and then with, I think, year 2 of Black Ops 4, they teased the fact that there was an unsolved Easter egg on Tagger Toten. The Easter egg was known as Round 200 Insanity. It was pretty cool. It was fun when it was solved, but I know you guys are itching for new Zombies content by now, because look at the math. Black Ops Cold War released at the beginning of November with just D Machina, which is 3 whole months before the start of Season 2. It's the only Black Ops game to date to launch with literally just one map. Black Ops 1 had Kino and 5, Black Ops 2 had Tranzit broken up into lots of sections, Nuketown came shortly after, and then Black Ops 3 of course had Shadows and the Giant, and Black Ops 4, you already know the drill, we had 4 maps at launch, which was insane. Thus far, we've only gotten, what, Jingle Hells, we have Cranked coming next week, we have the Onslaught mode if you're on PlayStation, we know Raid Onslaught is dropping next Friday, so there isn't much to go around for zombies. It's a bit frustrating, I get it, and if you heard the rumor that I talked about a couple days ago, apparently Cold War Zombies will only have 4 more maps. So we have DLC 1 through 4 essentially throughout the rest of the season. But if you guys are like, wait a second, what about those Victis maps? There is still hope for them. And I know you guys are probably tired of, you know, these rumors about Tranzit, Diaries, and Buried. I know I'm tired of talking about them, but I'm bringing you this video because we have an update about them thanks to Tom Henderson, Verified Insider. I'm at the point where I've accepted that, look, the maps exist, they were in development, but now they're on an indefinite hiatus, similar to Modern Warfare 2 Remastered multiplayer. Tom Henderson, in a stream just a couple of days ago, where he talks about Call of Duty 2021 and future content, he mentions that they do still intend to release the rest of the Zombies Chronicles 2 maps, Tranzit, Diaries, and Buried, but right now, they are not a major focus. And what I find funny about that is that, to this day, I'll get a couple of comments here and there on videos or streams from clowns that say, oh, you made things up, it was all clickbait, it's never happening, and I'm like, why would I make things up, right? I do YouTube as a job. I do this every single day. Why would I want to ruin my reputation making something up that just isn't true? And you guys know, lies eventually get exposed no matter what. So at some point, it would be disproven that the maps actually exist. Why would I want to put myself in that position? I mean, what's funny about it is that back during Black Ops 4, I spoke to quite a few, you know, verified insiders, different YouTubers who got the confirmation that yes, the maps themselves did exist at one point. They were being developed for Black Ops 4, but they obviously didn't release. And why? You know, we have many reasons, right? Treyarch had to work on Call of Duty 2020, Black Ops 4 got its life cut short, and some other reasons as well, but I guess because of my channel size at the time, I probably had like 10,000 subs back during Black Ops 4, people were assuming that, oh, you're just making making things up. It's all clickbait, it's all lies, and I never wanted to do that. And thankfully, we have an insider, Tom Henderson, who's gotten quite a bit correct about Modern Warfare, Warzone, Black Ops Cold War, also mentioning the existence of those maps. They're there, but you know what? Game development is real complicated. That's just how it works. We know in Black Ops 4, so many assets were there within multiplayer and Blackout for those maps. I mean, not only Tranzit assets, die-rise teasers, but the entirety of Buried was in Blackout. So that's why I always laughed when people out there were saying that there was no evidence of those maps coming to Black Ops 4 Zombies. The entirety of Buried is right there. Why would they put that in Blackout and have no intention of porting that into Zombies at some point? That was very clearly an intention. We have David Vonderhaar himself, who tweeted me one time, as you can see on screen, that the Transit bus was going to be operational in Blackout. There was a plan for it, but things just didn't work out, and that's probably when the Victis maps were scrapped for Black Ops 4, but I still have hope that they'll release at some point for Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Looking at how perfect it would be to see those maps in Black Ops Cold War, I thought it'd be better for Black Ops 4 to get those maps. We had the Victis character models, it just made sense, but Black Ops Cold War has the Dark Aether storyline going, and where is Victis right now in the Dark Aether? We talked about that many times before on the channel, but I keep getting that confirmation from different people on Twitter and people in comments that, oh, Treyarch confirmed themselves that the story of Victis is over, and I get what you're saying, right? We have an official statement back during, I think, Tagged or Toten when they said that the arcs of Primus, Ultimus, and Victis are over, and obviously Primus and Ultimus are over, sure, but when it comes to Victis, they didn't kill him off. They're in the Dark Aether, of course, and with that statement they released, they wouldn't give away that there is a future for Victis at all, right? If they would have said in that statement that it's only the end for Primus and Ultimus, that would have been them confirming a potential surprise that Victis will return in Black Ops Cold War, right? Why would they give that away? Real silly to talk about, but that statement alone doesn't really mean that Victis can't come back. It's just for the time being, their arcs are over. But Craig Houston's writing Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Why not bring them back? But if they don't ever bring them back, okay, cool. You know, Victis is gone, but I still wouldn't mind to see Transit, Die-Rise, and Buried recreated somehow at some point in the future to fit the mechanics of Black Ops Cold War. You could even combine all three of those maps into one, Revelation style, and I would still enjoy that. I think, you know, those maps deserve to see the light of day at some point, you know, in the future of Zombies. Now, if you look at when a good time is to release these supposed Victis remakes, if they still do exist for Black Ops Cold War, I would say maybe after DLC 4, during a supposed year 2 of Black Ops Cold War. A year 2, of course, isn't guaranteed, you know, I could say that right now, but you know what, if Call of Duty 2021 doesn't have a Zombies mode, I'd have no issue whatsoever if Treyarch continues to add updates into Black Ops Cold War Zombies. I think that's totally okay, and even if a Modern Warfare 2 releases next year by Infinity Ward, if that happens, I still wouldn't mind if Treyarch continued to update Black Ops Cold War Zombies, right? I'd have no issue with that. I'm sure you guys wouldn't either if you guys do like Black Ops Cold War Zombies. And the thing with that too is like, alright, let's just assume that DLC 1 through 4 aren't remakes. They are brand new experiences. The community would be okay with 3 more remakes after that, but if DLC 1 through 4 are remakes, like we've heard about previously, you know, we've heard that Firebase Z is Vietnam, of course, but it contains a part of Shinonuma. We heard that DLC 2 was Ural Mountains that may contain areas of, you know, Mount Yamantau, Summit, WMD. We heard DLC 3 was a Berlin map that may contain parts of Kino, and then DLC 4 was rumored to be some type of Derice-styled remake, right? If that's the case, people might be upset with those Victis remakes after all, but that is the latest that we know right now about those maps. You know, I don't mind questions about them once in a while, but people out there who believe genuinely that I made it all up, or that TGR was in on it, or that, you know, they never existed, not only is there evidence in-game, Black Ops 4, and not only have verified insiders said it, you know, publicly, you know, like Tom Henderson and such, but we've spoken to other YouTubers who also get the scoop every now and again, and they mentioned that, yeah, those maps definitely were going to happen at some point. But I think, if anything, if those maps are close to done for Black Ops Cold War, I know they were very close to done for Black Ops 4, but if they're close enough for Treyarch's new game, then why not just drop them in between seasons, right? I wouldn't mind extra content like that in between seasons. They also don't have to be connected to the story in any major way. I mean, I wouldn't mind them just for gameplay purposes, but with the Dark Aether, it's so easy to bring those maps back in some capacity, and I'm sure at some point Craig Houston is going to look at that and be like, yeah, you know what, it makes sense, let's do it. Now, you know, there's always the possibility that the maps are completely canceled. There might not be any opportunity to ever release those maps in Black Ops Cold War. I fully accept that. That could happen, and I want to make that clear, but if that does happen, and, you know, the maps are fully canceled, then, you know, I want to remind you that you shouldn't be blaming the messenger like myself for bringing you the information about the maps. I can't control what gets released and what doesn't. I'm not a game developer. I'm not at Activision. I'm just bringing you guys the news, as I always do. So I find it funny when people out there blame content creators for unreleased content or for things that get canceled. We can't control anything, right? If anything, I've spoken nothing but positivity about those maps, that the community would love them, and for the most part, the community has been really vocal about wanting those remakes, that they want to see how those maps would feel on next-gen consoles on a brand new engine. So, if anything, it's a request by the community that just might not happen. Now, you guys might not have heard the strong possibility that elements were taken from the Tranzit remake of Black Ops 4 and ported onto the Machina. It's just a theory, but I think it's a real strong one. Considering how similar the Die Wonder weapon is to the original jet gun, it makes me wonder, right, if a Tranzit remake does release in Black Ops Cold War, will there be a new jet gun? Because if so, how similar would it be to the Die Wonder weapon that we already have here on the Machina? We also see some pretty strong resemblance, could be a stretch, but pretty strong resemblance from the Dark Aether portals on this map to the portals that we had back on Tranzit, which you would use to teleport around to different locations. So they're very similar, and obviously we had Noctur and Toten on the original Tranzit as well. So when we all saw it in the teaser trailer for Black Ops Cold War, we're like, all right, maybe on disc there's gonna be a Tranzit remake, and that didn't happen. But sure, there's a possibility that they had Tranzit fully redeveloped for Black Ops 4, and they're like, all right, we don't have enough time to redevelop this for Black Ops Cold War, but we do have Die Machina partially done, so let's take some of the elements from that Tranzit remake and make them work on this new map. You know, we were hearing from lots of different reputable YouTubers and insiders behind the scenes, of course, about less than a year ago that on disc for Black Ops Cold War, we were going to see a new map, which is the Machina, a possible knocked bonus as survival, of course, and then a Tranzit remake. I think that would have been a great trio to start off the Cold War zombie season, but that didn't happen. Now, I can almost bet that probably would have happened if they didn't run out of time, you know, if Treyarch didn't have to step in late. If all those issues didn't exist, and obviously the pandemic, I think we probably would have saw at least 2 to 3 experiences on disc for Black Ops Cold War. Now, like I said, if we didn't get that update from Tom Henderson, I probably wouldn't have made this video. It's that simple. I've been following stories about these remakes for almost 2 years now, so I do care. But like I said, I am a variety channel that covers Call of Duty campaign, multiplayer, zombies, Warzone, whatever interests me, and I'll always make zombies videos whenever there's something new to talk about for the zombies mode, whether it's new content, whether it's new information, rumors, anything that I feel like doing, as you guys do know. But for those out there expecting more updates on these maps, I would say give it until March, because Tom Henderson did say that in March is when we'll be hearing more about Call of Duty 2021. Maybe that's when we'll hear whether or not Black Ops Cold War will receive a second year of zombies content. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the Victis remakes? Do you think they'll come to Black Ops Cold War? And if so, when should they release? Also leave your thoughts down below about what Treyarch should do on 115 Day, and what are your thoughts on the upcoming mid-season 1 updates. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.